Aloha! We're Maui and Trizzy, taking over the Hawai'i Islands, commonly known as the Big Island. Our first time visiting here was July 2019, so we felt that it was due to return to experience the remarkable island life we missed. In this video, we'll break down our itinerary, food recommendations, things to do, and places to visit from our recent trip with a splash of moments from our old trip. And if you're interested in knowing how we locked down a $10 round trip on this flight, stay till the end to catch that tip. The Kona International Airport is an open airport that welcomes you to the island with decor matching the scenes of what you'll be seeing around the Big Island. We retrieved our luggage, then proceeded to find the National Car Rental shuttle bus. There were no specific signs where to line up, just make sure to flag down the driver when you see the bus pulling up. We got in our car and made a few stops before getting to our accommodation. We stopped at the Matsuyama market to purchase water and snacks. With our essentials in hand, we set off for Hilo, the largest city on the Big Island. From Kona, it was about an hour-and-a-half drive. Our first meal on the island was at Cafe 100, a popular local restaurant and the same first meal spot we ate at in 2019. The food was delicious, so we had to come back to it again. Cafe 100 is home of the Loco Moco, therefore we ordered the Super Loco Moco, which included mac salad, rice topped with a burger patty, spam, Portuguese sausage, all smothered with gravy and 2 sunny side eggs. The perfect dish to welcome you to Hawaii. Charred, smoky. I love that.
It's very smoky.
Yeah. I never really know how to describe a mac salad. I just say, that's a good one though. After devouring the must-eat Loco Moco, we drove 45 minutes to the town of Volcano, where our home base will be for the next 4 nights. One thing to note is that hotels were out of our budget during this time of season, but luckily we found an Airbnb that provided the comfort and convenience for our time in Hilo. Our place was a cozy studio located in a quiet neighborhood that is only 5 minutes from the entrance of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. One of the main purposes of staying close to the national park was to catch a volcanic eruption.
It's like 9 p.m. at night. We're gonna head into the Volcano National Park and try and see an active eruption from the volcano.
The day before we arrived, the Kilauea volcano erupted for about 13 hours. Sadly, meaning we missed an opportunity to see the action. But the lava flow would still be glowing orange. So to make the most of our chase to see an eruption, we decided to do a night hike from Devastation Trailhead to the Kaumana overlook of the crater. The hike was flat and mostly on paved cement. However, it was spooky dark, but we came prepared with the light source that guided our 1-mile hike to the overlook. We're walking this, once was open for cars to drive along, but it's no longer the case, so they closed it down, so it's a footpath basically. So it's about a mile-long stretch. We usually like going on hikes when there's like nobody around, when it's not crowded. But for something like this, we got really excited when we saw other people. We reached the viewing point and witnessed a spectacular lava flow. It was an awe-inspiring sight, and we were grateful for the opportunity to experience this at the least. Throughout our trip, we checked in with the volcano activities on the National Park website and the webcam on the live YouTube channel. Even though we didn't see an eruption, the lava glowing and stars twinkling were the combo that made it worthwhile. We started the next morning off peacefully with hot chocolate and a homemade breakfast burrito. Being an early bird will be a disadvantage because most places open later, typically at 9 a.m. Our studio had a cute porch where we spent the morning game planning a day packed with cave exploring, food, and relaxation. First up on our agenda was a hike in the Kaumana Cave, a cave formed by the threatening 1881 Mauna Kea eruption. This unique lava tube offers a glimpse into the island's volcanic history while trekking on cooled lava. Because on our first visit to the island, we failed to bring a flashlight to hike this cave, we knew to be equipped this time with a light source and proper footwear, as we'll be roaming on rough and slippery lava rocks in the dark. If you're planning to hike, try to be as minimal as possible and hands-free. We squatted low to crawl, pronated our feet on uneven rocks, and dodged water droplets. The length of the hike is up to you. We hiked for a total of an hour and a half, and our turnaround point was when we questioned how much more darkness and mystery we can handle. Most visitors would just climb the steep stairs down to the entrance of the lava tube instead of hiking any further. "15 minutes from the cave was our next stop, the Big Island Candies factory, where we indulged in some samples of the delicious Hawaiian shortbread cookies and Kona coffee. On other days, the factories would be in full machine mode, but when we went, the machines were off. But we were still able to witness behind the windows how the cookies were manually hand-dipped to perfection. There were many options to purchase, and you can't go wrong with any. The factory also had a small cafe where you can purchase sandwiches, ice cream, and other snacks. For lunch, we headed to the Hilo Lunch Shop, a beloved local eatery known for its box and plate lunches serving Japanese Hawaiian food. As expected, there was a line and we waited around 30 minutes. The style of food here is well known around Hawaii, okazuya style, meaning small side dishes. Everything was pre-made and we just had to pick and choose which ones we wanted added to our box.
Whoa, that looks bomb.
Down the street was a Carlsmith beach park, where we ate our lunch overlooking bright blue water contrasting with the black lava rocks. Parking at this beach wasn't hard to find along the street or in the surrounding lots, but finding the right spot on the beach was a decisive process for us. One side of the beach provided railings, making it easy to get in and out of the water. For our box lunch, we chose regular, nori, and Korean-style fried chicken, spam musubi, egg maki, shrimp tempura, and a sweet potato tempura, which we wish we got more of. This box lunch was very affordable, bringing up to about $20 total. The rest of the afternoon was spent here relaxing and snorkeling with the endless amount of turtles who were not afraid to get close to humans. But as humans, we need to make sure to respect the turtle space. It's illegal to touch turtles because they are protected under the state and the lifeguards on duty will call you out. We were lucky enough to swim with the turtles during our time here. Aside from bringing our swimsuits and snorkeling gear, having a towel poncho was a key necessity for us. After the beach, we changed into our evening clothes using our ponchos and we were ready for some shave ice and dinner. We had our dessert first before dinner, since Kula Shave Ice was going to close at 5 p.m. And that goes for a lot of places on the island. They close early. Kula was located at the Hilo Farmers Market. This farmer's market is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and offers fresh fruits, veggies, flowers, along with food, beverage, arts, and many other local vendor products. By the time we got to Kula Shave Ice, the market was closed. We enjoyed our dessert called the Local, a soursop and lilikoi ice dome topped with halpia cream. That just melts. We took a stroll at a nearby park, making space in our stomach for dinner later.
We're at Wailoa Park, where the King Kamehameha statue is, and I also just want to walk on this crazy bridge, see if that's allowed.
Dinner was at the Kuhio Grille, where we savored delicious Hawaiian-inspired cuisine like lau lau, a flavorful steamed dish with meat and veggies wrapped into taro leaves. In our case, we had chicken. And since the evening was chilly, we warmed up with the saimin bowl, a Hawaiian noodle soup dish similar to ramen. Overall, our second day on the Big Island was filled with adventure, exploration, and relaxation, providing us with the memorable experience of the island's diverse attractions. The next morning was another breakfast burrito on the porch with the discussion of how our day at the Volcanoes National Park will go. Our stay was only a 5-minute drive to the entrance, and because we have used the America the Beautiful annual pass at several other parks, we saved $35 on the admission fee. Our first hike of the day to activate our quads and calves was the 3.3-mile loop Kilauea Iki hike. If you prefer not to do the hike, there is an overlook showing the massive active crater that people choose to endure. Before starting the hike, there is a small request that you brush your shoes to help protect nature from invasive species that may have been collected elsewhere. Doing the hike in the morning before it gets even hotter was a peaceful moment as we heard birds chirping and the trees and plants rattling from the slight breeze. Going down to the Iki floor was about a mild descent of 400 feet. There were a lot of switchbacks, but the trail was well maintained. Once we reached the floor, we were guided by the ahu, stacked lava rocks. Bring water and sun protection, because there is no shade hiking across the Iki floor. If you caught me saying that this is an active volcano, don't be too worried, because although this is active, it has not erupted or showed signs of activity since its last fountaining eruption episode in 1959. And we trust the brilliant and essential park rangers and park service workers that they wouldn't let people access this hike if it was dangerous. Descending was the easy part, but ascending back up 400 feet was the fun part. It's recommended to do this hike counterclockwise if you're starting from the Kilauea Iki trailhead parking. After doing the hike, we can agree. The hike felt forever towards the end as we kept stopping at viewpoints to see the smoke from the Haleima crater. Across the parking lot was a short hike to the Nahuku Thurston lava tube.
It's so cold in here.
And this is the Thurston lava tube. It's really short though. It's like 0.25 miles one way or something, maybe even less.
Before making a lunch stop, we drove to the end of the scenic 19-mile chain of crater roads to see the Hole Sea Arch. an arch created more than 500 years ago from waves of the Pacific Ocean crashing into and eroding the lava cliffs. It's a brief walk to the viewpoints to see the arch from afar. The first time we visited, there was a closer viewing area, but that's non-existent now. For lunch, we visited a local sandwich shop, Eagle's Lighthouse Cafe, where the countless choices of vegetables are extremely fresh, complementing the pastrami meat we picked for our sandwich. It's a small shop with a simple menu that offers build-your-own sandwiches, hot food, drinks, and snacks. A place we highly recommend if you're around the park, but their hours are short, closing at 2 p.m., and fully closed on Sundays and Mondays. Returning to the park, we made our last stop at the steam vents and sulfur banks. We parked at the vents and walked through a hazy trail that links with the Crater Rim Trail and sulfur banks. In the distance was another angle of the Halemaumau crater. Walking the trail to the sulfur banks was about a flat 15-minute walk from gravel, dirt, to a boardwalk with no barrier. The rotten egg smell will welcome you. The boardwalk sits above the steaming sulfur banks, and let us reiterate, there are no barriers, so watch your step and try to avoid visiting when it's crowded. The volcanic gases will immediately disintegrate anything that falls onto the banks. On a lighter note, these gases can also create beautiful pure crystals. Like most evenings in Hawaii, we had dessert first. We attempted to get daifuku mochi at 2 ladies, but we didn't make it in time, and like we mentioned before, places close early. But we found another shave ice place that was still open, the Hilo Ice Shave. We unknowingly ordered a size that was meant for a family of 4.
How big? We requested for a regular, but then she changed our mind. No, she didn't change our mind. We didn't know what to order.
Our flavors were lihing and dragon fruit, and inside this heaping shave ice was 3 generous scoops of magna ice cream and mochi balls. It was very intimidating to look at, but once we dove in, we enjoyed every bite, from the fluffiness of the ice, to the on-par taste of our chosen syrup, to the soft mochi that just melts in your mouth, and to the strong macadamia flavor of the ice cream with big pieces of macadamia nuts. We caught the sunset at Mauna Kea Visitor Center, which is a 45-minute drive from Hilo. It's not the summit, but in order to get to the summit, you'll need a 4-wheel drive vehicle, which we didn't have. It's free to visit this volcano, which is the state of Hawaii's highest point with an elevation of 13,800 feet. From the Visitor Center parking lot, we walked across the road and hopped over a railing to follow the crowd up a steep hill. It wasn't long until the sun had set. Our towel ponchos came in handy and kept us warm as it was cold and windy watching the day turn to night. To end our night, we had dinner at Ken's House of Pancakes, a local staple once featured on Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Because of the chilly sunset viewing, we ordered a wonton min noodle soup dish and a steak plate with a side of fries. We witnessed customers take on the restaurant's sumo food challenge.
Who's doing it? Fries. You'll like the fries.
The next morning, we went back to Ken's House of Pancakes for the breakfast, which is served all day. We filled up for another busy day with a local moco,
It's a little different.
and macadamia pancakes with lilikoi, guava, and haupia syrup. We enjoyed the generous amount of macadamia nuts placed in between the pancakes.
Both sides, right? I like the guava and coconut.
First up after breakfast was the Akaka Falls State Park to see the 442 feet Akaka waterfall. The hike is a 0.4-mile loop on paved cement, and most of the way is shaded with lush greenery. A second waterfall is along the trail as well, the 100 feet tall Kahuna Falls. It's pretty much blocked by the growing forest, so it was hard to see. To park in their small lot was $10, and to hike was $5 per person if you're not a Hawaiian resident. 30 minutes away and back near the Hilo town was the Wailuku River State Park, where we viewed the Rainbow Falls. This waterfall plunges into a large pool along the river. There is an accessible platform to view the falls from a lower angle, and another area which requires a short walk to view from a higher angle. Next to the hike is a giant banyan tree that attracts visitors. We continued upstream to boiling pots along the Wailuku River. It's a captivating sight to visit, but a dangerous natural wonder. Despite its name, the water isn't really boiling. It just appears to be boiling on rainy days. But you still don't want to mess with nature, as these pools of waters are connected by underground lava tubes, making the flow unsettling and unpredictable. And if that's not enough to warn you, there's a placard with the number of people and the date they died who bypassed the do not enter signs. For the relaxation part of the day, we went to swim at the Onekahakaha Beach Park. Well, by swim, we mean just to dip in the water. This beach is family friendly with shallow waters and lagoon-like features where there's barely any waves. We settled on a flat lava rock away from the crowd, but quickly moved as I, Trizzy, spotted a sea urchin and got scared that there would be more. This part of the beach was rocky and hard to enjoy wading in the water. So I realized why there was barely anybody on this side. I moved to the sandy part of the beach where everyone was. It definitely was more enjoyable, but we didn't spend too long here, as we wanted to make it to Makani's Magic Pineapple Shack before it closes. We snacked on a mouth-watering unicorn soft serve, which is ube and dragon fruit flavored.
Ube is pretty strong. The dragon fruit is pretty strong too. And dragon fruit is dairy free. It's so refreshing.
Yeah. After dessert was dinner. It was our last night on the Hilo side of the island, and coincidentally, we ate at a place next to the hotel we stayed at during our first trip, the Coconut Grill. The views were of people jumping off the side of the road into the water. We ate a hamburger steak, furikake chicken katsu, and tempura macadamia ice cream. Yes, another ice cream, because why not? The portions were very generous. We needed to walk around the nearby Reeds Bay Beach Park before calling it a night.
Wow. Hi.
Be free.
Come on.
Our last morning on this side of the island was spent back at the Volcanoes National Park. I'm currently training for a race, so I decided to run some miles through the sulfur banks and steam vents. It was magical with the morning glow mixing in with the steam. If you're wondering if it's worth staying far from town to be closer to the volcanoes, I would say yes because of mornings like this. As we packed up and journeyed over to Kona, we made one more stop in Hilo to the Mauna Kea Macadamia Nut Visitor Center. It's free and has a video presentation that shares the history and process of the treasured macadamia nut. The nature walk showcases tropical plants and macadamia trees. Visitors are able to see inside the factory from the outside. But sadly, the day we went, the factory wasn't operating. Samples of nuts and coffees were offered.
Chocolate. This is good as I remember.
And of course, products you can buy from the Mauna Kea brand, Hawaiian Host, and other local Hawaiian brands. We were lucky with the weather in Hilo, the side of the island that typically experiences rainy days. So the beautiful weather continued when we stayed in Kona for one night. Our first stop upon arriving in Kona was to Manuela's Malasadas, a small stall parked on the side of the busy Highway 19 that's a must-stop if this doughy, sweet fried pastry is your thing. They're made to order with different filling and sugar options. I gotta read off what we got. White chocolate strawberry filling with plain sugar, Nutella with plain sugar, Hopia with Lihing sugar, Bavarian cream with powdered sugar, Lilikoi with Lihing guava with plain sugar.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's still warm.
So you're not stingy at all. We saved the rest of the uneaten malasadas to snack on later while at the beach.
This all cost about $27.
Did you know that there are no private beaches in Hawaii? Even the ones in front of nice resorts have public access. We parked at the Kolokohai Beach Park and walked along a path to the beach at the luxurious Fairmont Orchid. So we enjoyed this without having to pay $700 a night to stay at the hotel. The sun was out, but it was windy, so we weren't sure if it was hot or cold. When we decided it was time to snorkel in the water, it was a bit chilly, even with the sun shining on it. But once we were in, it was fine. There were lots of colorful sea life in this lagoon. Some we wish we didn't see, like eels and potentially poisonous pufferfishes. And although the fishes were pretty vibrant, there was one in particular who was a big bully. Past the short break of lava rocks, many more were snorkeling. We spent about 3 hours here. Back at the parking lot was the Malama Trail to see some petroglyphs. These ancient drawings on lava rocks were made by early Hawaiians. The first area that displays some of these was very accessible along a paved cement path. If you wish to continue, the trail becomes dirt, and at the time we went, it didn't seem to be maintained. Getting to the end to see more of the petroglyphs was pretty cool. Alright, we didn't know the path was gonna be like this. So grassy. We're gonna use our Captain America shield and Wicked broom. But we dreaded the return back on this bushy trail. We saw that the map had a way for us to return to the parking lot to avoid the trail, but quickly turned back around because there was possibly a beehive or a bee hotel where the bees were coming our way with the help of the strong wind. The Foodland Market was at the shops at Mauna Kea. We stopped in to grab some snacks because the reputation of food here is unmatchable from those of other supermarkets. We got their spam musubi and mochi for a sunset viewing at a nearby Mauna Kea Beach Club. We parked at the Kalahuipua'a Historic Park and walked through a really cool ancient lava field with ponds to get to the beach. Our sunset view was obstructed by a cliff, but at least the 15-minute trek compensated for it. Along this path, we figured out why there were eels in the water. There was a nearby pond housing them. We weren't planning to add swimming with eels ever in our lifetime, but I guess we just did. Oh, they're out to play. Ooh. Dinner was to check out the Queen's Marketplace, an outdoor shopping mall. We arrived too late to see the live hula show. So we walked around until we couldn't bear the strong winds any longer. There was a food court that sheltered us, so we ordered a spicy garlic shrimp plate. Then afterwards, got another shave ice next door at Gecko Girls.
Side is Lily Coin, this side is Prague. Ooh, it might be sweet for you, but it's really good for me.
We checked into our Kona stay near the airport. For both of our stays in Hilo and Kona, we can vouch for the price, comfort, and communications with the host. So we'll leave a link in the description for where we stayed. Our last day has arrived. After checking out of our overnight stay, we went to Cafe Florian for a quick snack before doing the Greenwell Farms coffee tour. The tour was free and very informative of their coffee process. You can't help but give more respect to the hard work and precise knowledge of what makes their coffee stand out. We purchased a variety pack after Maui sampled a few of their products. One last shave ice for the road at Scandinavian Shave Ice. We didn't see any turtles at the Sea Turtle Beach in Koloko Honokoha'u National Historic Park. So we left to have our last meal at the Pine Tree Cafe. It was a busy lunch hour and we can see why with our plates, the loco moco and spicy garlic chicken. Okay, fun last meal we got here. This little dressing adds a great taste to it. All three in one bite. It's like what you make at home. So we've reached the end of our trip, but we also want to share some other things to do and eat in Kona that we did on our previous trip but didn't do this time around. The top suggestion would be to swim with the manta rays at night. There are several tour operators that offer this amazing experience. We started from Kona's marina and cruised all the way to Keauho'ou Bay. If you get extremely seasick, don't do what we did. Instead, find a tour operator closer to Keauho'ou Bay, so you can just be on that boat for a shorter amount of time. I do believe that if you do get seasick, that this experience is so worth the projectile vomiting because 1, you're feeding the fishes, so there's no food waste. And 2, the manta rays know how to put on a show whether from afar or up close. And just another warning, while you're in the water, you still may feel motion sick because of the waves, so just prep yourself with motion sickness medicine, ginger ale, Sprite, or whatever remedy you need. One other Kona food spot we recommend is Broke the Mouth Grinds that serves Filipino, Korean, and Hawaiian dishes, including their popular furikake chicken. This is another place featured on Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. The last suggestion we have is to visit another coffee farm, the Mountain Thunder Coffee Plantation. To add on our amazing experience on Hawai'i Island, we also want to share how we booked our Hawaiian airline flights for only $11 round trip per person. We went to Seats.aero, a site that helps people use their frequent flyer miles and credit card points to book flights. So we found a flight from Los Angeles, California to Kona, Hawaii for 10,000 points one way. We just had to pay $11 for the taxes and fees. Thanks to the merger, we're now able to use our Alaska airline points to buy Hawaiian airline flights. And since we're blessed with Alaska's MVP Elite status, we received a free upgrade to Premium. The last time we visited Hawaii, we got upgraded to first class, so we think saving points and being loyal to an airline are worth it. If you're looking for a credit card that can help you book flights with points, check out Daily Drop's top credit cards linked in our description. Thanks for watching Maui and Trizzy. Please subscribe and get notified for more of our adventures. Mahalo!
Can't be picked or shaken loose from the branches without sacrificing some of them.